We are so high up. Wow, this is very, very crazy.
Whoa.
So there's a lot of these windy roads like this. The contrast is so shocking from those crazy bumpy roads. There's nothing else going on out there, feeling very rural, and now we've got freshly painted buildings, we've got palm trees all set up, there's the beach there, all the tents and everything. It's day 2 of our Albanian road trip. Things are going very well. There's ups and downs, there always is, but this morning was quite funny. So actually, if you didn't catch yesterday's video, we checked into this place, which is, well, there's a good example. You can see this stone. It's like this,
yeah, traditional stone building, and then it's a bed and breakfast. So we don't normally eat breakfast, but this morning Danger ran downstairs to go and like settle the bill and everything. He comes running back up and he's like, I think we're having breakfast.
We didn't really stop to think that it's a bed and breakfast, but everybody, we keep saying this, I feel like it's going to be a theme. Albanians are so lovely and so accommodating, and so we were like, felt obliged. We sat down and we ate this meal, and it was so nice and so lovely.
Anyway,
but today the journey continues.
We're hitting the road. We're going to be heading west and back out towards the coast today. We are going to a place called Himarë, and on the way we want to stop at this little island, which again I haven't read much about. There's not much information, so we're just kind of like going to roll the dice and see what happens.
I think it'll be interesting because some of the photos we've seen make this thing look very pristine, and others is like, wow.
Yeah.
It's unbearably hot in this car. Let's get driving. So before we talk about where we are, how about that road situation?
People had warned us, and we did as much like research as we possibly could, but that was difficult roads, shall we say? Just potholes everywhere and twists and turns and stuff, and yeah, we got there.
It's often only one way as well, so the roads are, well, not one way, sorry, thin. Like the roads are for 1.5 cars. And then you have to come in and share it with another car. So, I mean, we're smiling because it literally is an adventure, and I think you have to treat it like that in a place like this.
I think so too.
When you're hiring a car and you're exploring. But this is the random place that we've come, and it is the nice version. We weren't sure this morning what it was going to be. There's this...
Oh, the bridge you're talking about,
The bridge is nice, but let's start walking and we'll explain.
So when we were Googling around to see what there was to do in this area of Vlore, I was just on Google image search, and I found this little island that had this monastery on it, and there was this crumbling bridge that kind of stopped in the middle.
It was like broken, and that's partly what we were expecting.
And you had to get picked up by like a fisherman in a boat to get actually to the island. But since then the bridge has obviously been remade. I think it's 200.
This is really nice now.
Yeah, it's like 270 meters long, this wooden bridge that takes you over to the island with a 13th century monastery. So it's very random.
It's just this token island that's like, was it like 300 meters by 400 meters?
Yeah, it's a tiny island. So we were just like, this looks cool. Let's just come and explore and see what it's like.
There's not too many people here. I saw maybe 3 or 4 people wandering over. There's a couple of people back there, and we're just in nature.
It feels like
random
those boardwalks that you see in the Maldives that take you out to your overwater bungalows.
If only there was some luxury at the end of it, like an overwater bungalow for us. But we're going to walk over and just basically just see what is there, see what's going on.
Huge amounts of cicadas. It's like nothing.
Well, I enjoyed that. very odd little stop there.
I'm glad we didn't go too far out of the way to come here. Like it's a very much
Yeah,
like
I
you
see
get
what you
out,
mean.
you go for a walk, you spend 15 minutes on the island.
Yeah.
But we didn't go into the monastery.
No, well, there was a sign that was saying like no cameras, no filming in the monastery. People were walking with their phones and all sorts, but we sort of try and be a bit more respectful than that. And also we try not to wear like
Not dressed
skin
appropriately.
and have skin showing and stuff in those sort of religious scenarios. So we're trying to be respectful. And it's clearly very beautiful anyway, so that always helps. The thing that's not that amazing is the water. There is some clarity to it. The ducks seem to be enjoying it, but yeah, I don't think we would go swimming. We did see a crab in there, eh? The big crab.
Yeah, it was cute. Did you get him on camera?
No, I didn't. So you just have to explain to people, what did the crab look like? Very weird mixture here. It was about 10 minutes away from where we just were, and now we're in the town. The city, I suppose, right? City at the centre-ish.
This is apparently the third largest city in Albania.
I can kind of see that. It's just the contrast is so shocking from those crazy bumpy roads. There's nothing else going on out there. Feeling very rural, quite poor, I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
There's poverty there, it's very obvious, to what is clearly like a bit more of a tourist hub. And now we've got freshly painted buildings, we've got palm trees all set up, there's the beach there, all the tents and everything.
It's a lot to take in. It's very difficult to describe. I feel like we've gone on an emotional roller coaster a
Yeah,
little bit.
we were chatting in the car and we were saying it reminds us of this place called Da Nang in Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's like a city beach town.
Yeah.
It's not a beach place. It's a city that happens to have a beach,
Yeah.
which is, it's a bit weird. We decided to ditch that beach. It was nice, but we want to find like the proper beaches, not the real like touristy, not so beautiful ones. So we're in a bit of a trek now that's going to take us down the coast further. We're moving away from civilization a little bit. So we've come to a gas station, except for this gas station with 6 pumps has no gas. They only have diesel. So we're just going to have to wing it a little bit from here and hope that we don't run out. Been driving on, or just about to drive down one of the, I don't know if this road is necessarily famous, but one of the well-known windy roads because of the view. We are so high up. Wow, this is very, very crazy.
Whoa.
So there's a lot of these windy roads like this. But this is the view. Other than the cars flying past, it's a very peaceful place.
Everything feels supersized. Like the mountains are huge. They're ginormous.
They really are. Honestly, the cars that they drive here are so nice. There is so many. We've been overtaken by Mercedes and Porsches and
so many Audis that are just hooning past like way too fast on these
way
roads. But
too fast.
far out.
A couple of stops along here for water and stuff, which is nice just to be able to stop in and get a snack and get some water. But look at the beauty of it. That's some sort of a little beachside town down there. There's more windy roads and everything through here, and then just the setting in this, like these gorgeous mountain sort of backdrop. Is that you beeping? Well, I don't know whose alarm's going off, but
It sounds like someone on a horn.
It does. Welcome to Himarë?
I think that's how you say it. We need to ask a local.
We really do need to work on our pronunciation. So we were going to stop off. Initially, the plan was to stop off at a place again, which we don't know how to pronounce, called Durmi, we think.
Yeah, I think it was Durmi, but because the roads are really windy and you're actually like up in the mountains, I thought it was going to be more like you're right on the coast kind of thing. And we keep saying the word coast, and then we happen to just be up in the mountains all day.
So it was beautiful, but honestly, we've driven for about 5 hours today, maybe even a little bit more. So it's quite taxing. We'll just come to Himarë, check into our accommodation, which is mint as well.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
There's like got this little balcony that you can like go and sit down at a table, and there's like a little sea view, just a small sea view.
but it's very modern, and we've got a garage as well, like somewhere that we can actually park the car.
Yeah, so we can park and actually walk down into the town and have a drink,
Yeah,
check out the beach.
That's exactly the thing. We've walked like 5 minutes, we're like a few minutes out, I can see that it's sort of building up right now, is so that I can walk and actually have a drink and relax and hopefully get some seafood or some local food tonight, I think is the plan.
This is really cool.
It does. I really like the look of this place. It's very small, but in a really charming sort of way. And it's thick sand rather than pebbles, which I feel like we're going to see a lot of that. To the beach we go to tomorrow is supposed to be a bit of a finer sand and one of the nicer ones around. Big long stretch of beach with the sort of umbrellas and everything set up. There's a couple of little beach bars and that. There's like a really much more of a casual, actual beachy feel here, which is probably the first time I think that we've actually found that in Albania anyway.
So it turns out Himarë is a popular spot for tourism, but it's not so much foreign tourists, it's more locals exploring their own country, which is really cool to see. So we made our way through the crowds, grabbed a drink and sat down on the beachfront to do some interesting people watching.
Whenever we're somewhere coastal, we always have this urge to eat seafood. So we found a place that looked like it wasn't too touristy, and in this case, ordered a whole ass fish. Breaking our mold from the typical pizza and beer, we found that they served a local wine and a whole carafe was only a few euros.